Charu, let me bring you back to two very important questions. The first will be on the violence which has taken place in Bengal.
Yeah.
And the second we'll talk about women, representation of women. This killing has shocked everyone.
Yeah.
That has taken place. Prime Minister specifically said that badla nahi, badlav chahiye. What is happening? Do you think that this is transitional, or do you think that that the entire goon element, which got absorbed into TMC, which is an open fact, when TMC came, the entire apparatus of the left was absorbed by the newly formed TMC. It's the same apparatus which is kicking into action.
See, Bengal has always had a history of bloodied politics, and that needs to change, and that's why BJP leaders, including our Honorable Prime Minister, are issuing multiple statements which say that hame badlav chahiye. We don't want this politics of vengeance, of revenge, of identifying people based on their political ideology, which happened even during this election. We pointed that out. Why else would a button on an EVM which says BJP have itr on it, have perfume on it? It is only because you want to identify the person who's voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Maybe something will not happen that day, but 5 days later when election results are out, God knows what TMC was planning had they won, because they unleashed that kind of terror in 2021, and we are still living with the aftermath of that terror, and some of these stories are horrifying. A 80-year-old woman killed, a 60-year-old woman raped, and there is absolutely no justice to be found in West Bengal. She had to come to the Supreme Court in Delhi to in fact even get her FIR registered. From children to old women, and the number of young men, young people they've lost their lives only because they followed a different political ideology. It's heartbreaking even today. So that needs to stop. But there is a lot of people today who are also impersonating a BJP karyakarta to maybe bring a bad name to BJP. Our party's state unit has put out a statement to that effect. We've also said that you can't declare yourself a BJP karyakarta. BJP has to accept you formally. There is a process to it. Only after that you become a BJP karyakarta. And I think this Bhawanipur loss has pinched TMC to such a point that one, Mamata Banerjee is behaving like a stubborn child,
she's saying that
to get out. I am not going to resign.
Stolen.
And she's refusing to resign. I really don't know who her advisors are or what sort of a mindset she's got after being a chief minister for 15 long years. After 15 years, if you've not even learned that, madam, you're no longer a chief minister, you're only a caretaker. Even if you had won the election, you would have had to do your swearing in all over again, which basically means you're not a chief minister today. So this zid, there is no other word for it. It's that of a child. I'll throw the bat away, I'll hide the ball, but I'm not going to let anyone else play because I'm not batting. Okay. It's that kind of a mentality. And then that is passed down to her people. So that is why the death of Chandranath ji yesterday, he was a young, promising leader doing his job. He was shot point blank at close range.
I think the investigations are very clear that it was premeditated.
Absolutely it was, because these people rode in. He was shot at, 3 bullets hit him. He died on the spot pretty much, and he was not the only one. Even after that, violence has continued in West Bengal. Rohit Roy of Basirhat, he was also shot at, and these incidents are breaking out all over, and this is when the central forces are still there. So imagine what it would have been, what it could have been had this number of forces not been there on ground. And this is why we say this change was essential. Now imagine if a powerful political worker is treated like that, if an MP's car can be attacked, if Swendu Adhikari's closest person can be shot at point blank range, what hope do the average citizens have? No, they never did. And that is why this regime change is so important. See, this is not BJP's win only. This is the win of the people of West Bengal, and you see it in their eyes, in their faces, Charu, in their celebrations.
Now BJP, in a way, as Prime Minister said, from Ganga to Ganga Sagar. But even then, your party was not able to clear the women reservation bill, because it was linked with delimitation. Yeah. Do you think that something should be done, that it gets de-linked from all other controversial issues, and women reservation bill should become a reality with what the government has envisaged with that extended number?
I think what the government proposed this time was a win-win. no one was losing anything. Nobody was losing anything. Everybody had something to gain. The women were getting one thing. The line that Congress is trying to draw to weaponize the electorate, and this started around Telangana elections. In Telangana, a lot of statements were made which were derogatory, which was as bad as comparing the DNA of a North Indian to a South Indian. Even in Tamil Nadu, things were said about Biharis, you know, pani puri bechne aate hain, ya toilet cleaners hain. This is the kind of language, the derogatory language that was used. And this is just not acceptable. It is not acceptable at all, and I think these are one of the few reasons why DMK has been pushed out of power with such conviction this time. You cannot continue to divide India today on any kind of lines, not religious, not community wise, not caste wise, and definitely not north and south. You just can't do that, because we are all about integration today. You look at the northeastern states of our country. For the longest time, they had been feeling left out, and I'm using the word left out. I'm not even getting into more details. What did our government do?